Hi, I'm Dr. Joan Friedman. Welcome back to Twin Tuesday. Many people who know me know that I'm very obsessed with South Korean soap operas. Of course, I watch them on Netflix with subtitles. And the great thing about them is that they're so long. Each episode's like more than an hour. And it's just a great way to exercise. It gets me on the treadmill because I'm so curious and interested to find out what's happening in the next episode of the story. So I stumbled upon this one I was watching. I had no idea what it was about, called Our Unwritten Seoul, Seoul, as in Seoul, Korea. And it turned out that it was a story about twins, Mi-ji and Mi-rae. And the actress played both roles, and she was absolutely incredible. And the story's about, it's a much more sophisticated and well done parent trap in the sense that this is about adult twins who have to switch places because each is experiencing some sort of an emotional crisis, and they help each other out by going in each other's place. So Miji is grows up in the shadow of her sister Mi-rae because Mi-rae has had to go to the hospital. She's had many kind of medical problems, and she's a very gifted academician and she studies all the time. And Miji has the personality of very lively and fun and outgoing. And as she says in the TV series, that she basically just gave up trying to be smart in school because she couldn't compete with her sister. And she was a runner, and she was going to be get a runner scholarship in college, but of course, it's a soap opera. So she has a running injury. And when the running injury like takes away this athletic career, she feels completely lost. She locks herself up in her room for a year or two, and her sister in the meantime is going to Seoul to work in some huge management company. She was trying to pass a certain test in order to get some other kind of position, but she didn't, so she had to go and take this position and was incredibly unhappy. So the background is according to the movie, is that the mom could never tell them apart. The father was able to. He died when they were like 9 or 10. And their grandma was the one who also was able to tell them apart. She was the only one living at that point who could. So the one in Seoul, Mi-rae, is having a crisis. She's suicidal. She's so upset with herself and her work, and she just doesn't want to go on anymore. So Mishi comes to Seoul. It's about a half an hour from the little town where they live, and they changed places. And Miji has not gone to school. She has no idea what Mi-rae is doing, but she bravely goes into this kind of office situation where Mi-rae has already been made fun of or devalued or ostracized for lots of different complicated reasons that I don't have time to go into. So Miji takes her place. Miji has to learn about what to do. She has to make relationships. She has to study. She has to figure out how to deal with authority. She has to figure out how to be like an office worker. And she's never done this before. She's only been sort of a funny, warm, engaging goof off who's never been able to get more than a part-time job because she's felt so unambitious and she's felt so unsure of herself. So the interesting part is that Miji goes to Seoul, Mi-rae goes home to their small town, and she has to take over what Miji was doing, which was working on a strawberry farm. And she has a romantic interest now at the strawberry farm, and Miji has a romantic interest in Seoul. And interestingly enough, the romantic partners are the only ones who really can tell them apart. And it's just a lovely story of twinship. It's so much more involved and in depth than The Parent Trap, probably because they're adult women. But it talks about so many of the hardships that twins have to go through. And it's so fascinating because the roles that each of them had to inhibit inhabit, I mean, after they switch places, gave them the courage and the capacity to learn that they were completely able to handle what they felt they never were able to handle. So Mi-ji became very adept at understanding and doing the office work. And Mi-rae found parts of herself and her personality that were able to relax and not be so rigid and structured, and really learned how to do farming, but using all of her knowledge also in terms of what she knew about business. So it was a wonderful story, and thankfully, hopefully, it had a wonderful ending. Everyone lived happily ever after, which is really what makes exercise tolerable. So, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.